The mess hall of the Varnock military cruiser echoed with laughter. Alien soldiers, their scales glistening under the artificial lights, sat clustered around a glowing holoscreen. On it, a human text was being read aloud, an ancient Earth myth about warriors who faced monsters with nothing but courage and steel. They fought with swords? One soldier scoffed, nearly spilling his drink. Primitive toys. Another flicked his tail in amusement. And dragons? Fire-breathing beasts? These humans truly believed in such nonsense. The laughter grew louder. To the Varnock, myths were laughable fairy tales, stories meant for hatchlings. They couldn't understand why any species would preserve them, let alone take them seriously. At the far corner of the hall sat Captain Elias Kane, the sole human officer serving within the Allied fleet. He had been listening in silence, his sharp eyes scanning the room. Kane was not just any soldier. He was a war hero, scarred and hardened by battles the Varnock couldn't even imagine. His very presence made some uneasy, though they rarely admitted it aloud. One bold Varnock noticed him and shouted across the hall. "Captain Kane, tell us, are these myths real to your people? Do humans truly believe in monsters and gods?" The room hushed for a moment, anticipation thick in the air. Kane set down his mug slowly, his movements deliberate, and rose to his feet. His voice carried across the hall with a weight that silenced even the most mocking of soldiers. "You laugh at dragons, demons, and gods," he began, "because you think they are just stories. You're wrong." Confused murmurs rippled through the hall. A soldier sneered. "What? Do you mean to say your Earth had dragons flying in the skies?" Kane's lips curved into a grim smile. "No, not dragons with scales and fire. But monsters, oh, we've faced plenty of those. Not the kind born of fantasy, but the kind born of reality. Wars that devoured millions. Diseases that struck without mercy. Storms, famines, and an unforgiving world that demanded either strength or death." He stepped closer, his boots echoing against the metal floor. The soldiers instinctively straightened. "Your myths are nursery tales," Kane said. "Ours are warnings. Each story we told had a purpose. To remind us that courage must outlast fear, that cleverness can outwit strength, that sacrifice is the price of survival. We told tales of monsters because humanity faced monsters, sometimes in the shape of beasts, sometimes in the shape of other men." The room was silent now, every alien watching him with unblinking eyes. Kane's gaze swept across them, his tone growing harder. "You think it's funny? Let me tell you this. Every human myth you laugh at is carved from truth. The hero who stood against impossible odds? That was us on a battlefield with no hope left. The soldier who cut down a giant with a simple blade? That was us bringing down war machines with nothing but grit and ingenuity. The underdog who defied the gods themselves. That is humanity standing against the galaxy again and again, when logic said we should have died long ago." One of the younger soldiers dared to speak. "But myths are not real. They are illusions." Kane's expression hardened, his voice dropping to a near growl. "Illusions? Tell that to the human soldier who ran into a burning city to drag out children while the sky fell in fire. Tell that to the astronaut who left his world, not knowing if he would ever return. Tell that to the resistance fighter who stood before tanks with nothing but a stone in his hand. Our myths are not illusions. They are the echo of what we are." The silence stretched, heavy and unbroken. The laughter was gone now, replaced with something else. Respect, and a trace of unease. Kane finished his drink, his final words leaving a chill in the air. Human myths aren't about monsters. They're about humans. They're a warning to our enemies and a reminder to ourselves. If you think us fragile, if you think us foolish, then you've already forgotten the lesson every myth teaches. We don't run from monsters. We kill them. Without waiting for a response, Kane walked out of the mess hall, leaving behind a room of stunned alien soldiers who no longer found humanity's myths amusing. For the first time, they wondered if perhaps the humans themselves were the real monsters in the stories.